I always thought this newfound awareness would make one less of an a-hole.
Ah, were it so.
Well, I've found that through my seeking that I am less of an a-hole.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, and when I would say something, now I don't say it
Uh-huh.
or do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is also true, I believe, that yes, you change. And what brings about this change is probably a very complex combination of factors. We change as we age, we change as our experiences happen, and part of the experiences that have happened in your life that have helped bring about changes are what we would call spiritual ones. That you've begun to investigate things and begun to see things and recognize and realize new things about the nature of existence, all of which brings about changes. And in your case, and when you tell me that you're less of an asshole than you were before this, I believe you.
And the saboteur would be the FSA.
I'm not necessarily so. I mean, the FSA is simply an amplifier. Tends to amplify, but sometimes constricts as well. So there's no absolute. But the fact is, as you begin to blame less, as you begin to have fewer resentments, then not only are you more peaceful, but that inherent peacefulness spreads to others. Now, again, this is a subtle kind of thing. That peacefulness is at root. You may still have a volatile personality. The classic example of this is my guru's guru, Nisargadatta Maharaj. He had a volatile personality. He was a yeller, and anger came quite naturally and readily to that organism. He was at total peace, even though there was anger and agitation on the surface. So, and even people who he got mad at, who this anger was directed at, often said that there was something about it that was clean. It was pure. It was simply anger. There wasn't any sense that he was angry because you should be better, different than you are, which is a whole different kind of message that gets conveyed. And that can be conveyed very sweetly. People can very sweetly tell you that you shouldn't do what you do, shouldn't be as you are, in the most helpful, kind, loving ways. Tell you that you are substandard. And all you need to do is change this, and then everything's going to be fine. In the sweetest, kindest, most heart-open way.
But the guru's anger probably occurred less often than it did before he was enlightened.
No.
No? Same?
Not necessarily so.
Okay.
No. In that case, not necessarily so.
Okay.
But there certainly wasn't the freight that came with the anger after the enlightenment that there was before. That for sure. But the surface anger itself, the expression, is an expression of his personality.
So it's my wanting to be Buddha-like, is that a connection to my FSA?
Not necessarily, no. The desire to be nicer, to be more, when we think of Buddha-like, we tend to think of being kind, generous, mellow, those kinds of desires are quite natural when you see that those opposite qualities in you bring you pain and difficulty. There's a quite natural desire to be rid of those things that bring you pain and difficulty. That's quite normal. Now, the sense that I have the inherent power to do it is the claim of the FSA. The sense that, okay, if I just do this, this, and this, and I can, if I try really hard, do this, this, and this, I can do it, that is the claim of the FSA. But the desire itself is simply another desire.